p.m. Could you please give your attention to this short video?
Due to COVID-19, this meeting will be conducted as a Zoom meeting pursuant to the provisions of Assembly Bill 361, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting is being live streamed on the CCTA website. The chair will call upon members, staff, and other speakers by name. Please speak clearly and state your name before giving comments or remarks. Persons participating via Zoom with their cameras enabled are reminded that their activities are visible to viewers. Members participating by Zoom wishing to speak should physically raise their hand and unmute their mic when called upon. Members should mute their mics when done speaking. Citizens participating by Zoom wishing to speak should use the Raise Hand feature or dial *9 if participating via phone, and the chair or staff will call upon them at the appropriate time. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. After 3 minutes, staff will lower their hand and mute their mic. Participants via phone will be called upon by the last 4 digits of their phone number. It is requested that public speakers state their names and organization, but providing such information is voluntary. Written public comments received in accordance with the teleconferencing special notice for public comment guidelines are printed on the meeting agenda. If authors of the written correspondence would like to speak, they should raise their hand and the chair will call upon them at the appropriate time. All written correspondence received after that and during the meeting will be entered into the record. A roll call vote will be taken for all action items. Thank you for participating in a meeting of the Contra Costa Transportation Authority.
So Scott, do you want to go ahead?
Well, I'm now using my phone for the audio, and since I have a phone, I can use the camera on the phone. Okay, so we've convened the meeting. Now we're open to public comment.
Roll call.
Do we have any public that want to comment at this time?
Scott, we need to do the roll call first.
Oh, okay. Interesting enough. Okay, that's not on the agenda, but let's do the roll call then, please.
Thank you. Commissioner Carlson?
Here.
Commissioner Meadows?
Here.
Commissioner Haskew?
Here.
Vice Chair Kelly?
Here.
Chair Perkins?
Here.
Thank you. We have all commissioners present.
Thank you. All right, now I guess we'll do the public comment. Do we have any public that desires to speak on items that are not listed on the agenda?
We have not received any written public comment, and I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, well, we'll close public comment. Let's go to the consent calendar. Do we have a motion for the consent calendar? Or anybody want to pull any of the items on the consent calendar?
I'll move approval.
Okay. Motion Carlson.
Second.
Second Haskew. We take a roll call vote.
Thank you. Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
Commissioner Meadows?
Yes.
Commissioner Haskew?
Yes.
Vice Chair Kelly?
Yes.
Chair Perkins?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
All right. Let's go on to item 4A. Approval to proceed with City of San Pablo Medical Trips One-Seat Pilot Project. Do we have a presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Thank you very much, commissioners. This is Rashida Kamara. I will be presenting. I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind.
Please.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
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 Okay. Make sure that I have it right. One moment, please. Okay, so the City of San Pablo Medical Trips is a pilot program that has recently, good news, been approved by WCTAC. It is in conjunction with the City of San Pablo, and it is as a result of the Accessible Transportation Strategic Plan. Many of you are familiar with the strategic plan. The idea of the strategic plan, one of the strategies was to minimize, if not eliminate, some of the transfer trips that are involved for seniors and persons with disabilities attending medical appointments and other types of life-sustaining trips. Well, West County, members of West Counties are not part of the original one-seat program, which many of you may be familiar with. Many of these individuals are actually registered with East Bay Paratransit, and East Bay Paratransit at this time is actually not participating in the one-seat ride. And so as a result of this, it was necessary to prioritize some of these medical trips until a full one-seat ride option was available. Hence the City of San Pablo medical trip one-seat ride pilot. The purpose of this is to provide trips, eliminating transfers to medical appointments. The pilot will include 3 round-trip shuttle trips. These will be for individuals in the 94806 zip code, for individuals who are 50 or persons with disabilities above the age of 18. There is a fare structure that will be associated with these trips, and the idea is for the pilot program to last about 18 months. Now, we estimate that there are going to be about 77 trips per month, but this is just an estimation based on our round numbers. And the idea is that we're going to spend at least $170,000 for this pilot program. The purpose of our presentation today is to get the planning committee to actually approve the agreement and resolution in order to start the pilot program. The starting time is probably going to be around February, so there is an agreement that has to take place first. And with this agreement in place, County 2CTA, which is Contra Costa Transportation Authority, plus the City of San Pablo and WICTAC, and also Nelson Nygaard, which is the consulting company that has been working with us to put together all the details of the pilot program, will be working together to implement the program coming the first quarter of the next year. So having said that, I'll be more than happy to take questions before an approval or not has been made by the committee.
Yeah, I have a question. If we're charging $5 per, is that $5 per round trip or $5 per one way?
Currently, it's $5 per one way.
Okay, so $10 for round trip. And let's go to the next slide. And we have 542. So it provides $5,000 a month in income. Go to the next slide. It says 50% is funded by WICTAC, 50% funded by Measure X, but it's already expected to generate $5,000 a month times 18 months. I don't quite understand the financing.
So half of the, before I answer that, I think Naomi from Nelson Nygaard has her hand up.
Well, Ying has her hand up and maybe she could attempt to answer first.
Okay, we'll give the floor to Ying to answer first.
Thank you, Rashida, and thank you, Chair Perkins, for the question. So in the resolution, we have a project budget and reimbursement method table at the end of the resolution. And we, the fare revenue will not be significant, but it's a matter of principle. We ask the city to subtract the fare revenue from when they reimburse us. So the city will be made whole, but not like they're keeping the fare revenue. So it's on page 2 of attachment A.
Okay.
To add to that, Naomi, do you have your hand up? Or was the question answered?
I guess
Chair Perkins?
say that when I was helping work on the original projections, I started off including the fare revenue as an income, but it's just so unpredictable that it seemed better to be cautious and sort of set it aside for now. But we, as Ying said, it will definitely be incorporated in the project.
Okay.
For your response.
So then how would the excess revenue, in theory, does that extend the life of the program, or does the money go back to WICTAC? Does it go back to Measure X? Does it go back to the city? Where does that revenue go if it's not included in any of these cost tables?
I have,
Yeah, I have the answer, but Commissioner Kelly, do you want to ask that question so I can just capture that?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, as Naomi mentioned, the revenue will be rather unpredictable, and to be honest,
Yes.
cost can also be a little bit unpredictable. The city, our service plan is to provide 3 round trips on 3 days. In reality, they have to adjust that according to demand, and so you can see we can see the $170,000 as the cap, and so that's how the resolution is worded. That's the maximum cost of the pilot. And staff believes there's enough terms in the resolution so that everything will be accounted for. And if there is excess revenue, it will basically the 2 funders, which is CCTA as well as WICTAC, they would not be paid out as much.
Okay, so Measure X and WICTAC would retain effectively any earnings or any unspent funds.
That's correct.
Okay. That answers my question. Thank you. Let's see, who had a hand up? Oh, all right, Chris.
Thank you. So this came before WICTAC last week and it passed unanimously. I just want to say this is, kind of seen, I guess, for the moment as a pilot, as a temporary measure. There are a lot of people over the age of 50 in San Pablo who have to get to medical trips that are not either covered close by Kaiser or by the county health center. I mean, for example, Rita Xavier, who serves on WICTAC, she's a senior, and while she goes to the West County Health Center for regular medical checkups, she has to go all the way over to Martinez to get her eyes checked because at the county health center, they just don't have that kind of equipment. She doesn't drive anymore. And so for her to get there, through public transportation, it's going to take a couple of hours, and she may not always be able to afford an Uber to go there. So this is a service that's really, really needed, particularly by people in San Pablo.
thank you, Vice Chair Kelly. Are there any other questions?
Okay, with that, is there a motion to approve this project?
I move
So
to
moved.
approve. Oh,
Okay, is that motion by Haskew
yeah.
Second by Carl.
and second by Carlson? Can we have a roll call?
Do you want
Thank
to
you,
take public comment first?
Oh, I'm
I know.
sorry. Yes, public comment. Thank you, reminding me. Is there any public comment?
We have received no written public comment on this item.
Okay. All right, then let's have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Meadows?
Yes.
Commissioner Haskew?
Yes.
Vice Chair Kelly?
Yes.
And Chair Perkins?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Okay. We're on to correspondence and communications. Do we have any correspondence communications from any of the commissioners?
Scott?
Yes.
I just want to say, I said to a couple of people earlier, this morning I was out at Chevron in San Ramon for CCA's support of Girls Lead the Way STEM Day. There are about 150 girls there, several teachers, several educators. Lindy Johnson and I were there. I was able to give a few introductory remarks and put in a plug for CCTA and transportation. And then there was kind of a keynote address by 2 women, both doctorates, both African American, and they had a great presentation along with photos about their life's journeys, where they grew up in Southern California, how they got in and went to school, how they got their degrees, the ups and downs, and it was really, really inspiring. So I thought this is, once again, it's a great event, really appreciated, and really worthwhile.
Oh, nice to hear. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else for requirement 5 from staff or item 5 from staff? Okay, number 6, chair's comments and reports. I have none. B, commissioners' comments and reports. I see none. Executive staff comments. Tim, you or anybody got anything?
I have nothing, Chair Perkins. John, you have anything?
No, I have nothing, Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, 7, other business. Okay. 8, adjournment to the next regular meeting proposed for December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. We'll have to mention it at the time, but Pearl Harbor Day, I certainly can't forget that, having served 34 years in the Navy. All right, thank you all very much, and we'll see you.
See you soon.
Thank you, everyone.